Alright, in this demo I want to talk about the AWS linking onto the Amazon server. This will allow you to log on to a computer at the school virtually. So it's as if you showed up in the lab and got onto a computer. What you want to do, first let me explain that the reason why we have the link to the AWS is so that you can get access to exercises and other videos and such through the AWS. Also, you will maybe not be able to access CATIA if you do not have a computer that has the correct specs. Then you can log on to the AWS and follow the steps that I'm going to show you how to pull up CATIA through AWS. So I'm going to click over here and you're going to pick the engineering. This will take several moments to do. Make sure you grab on the engineering. Now the only reason it didn't take several moments for me is I've already done that. So since I was already in earlier, it popped in right away, but you will need to enter your password one more time. Once you get into the AWS, it looks like you're on your computer, but you're not. You're on the computer at the lab, if you will, working virtually from your home. So I guess the number one mistake is people go to their email and do things from here, but no, you can't do that. You've got to stay in the AWS. So everything must be done in here. So when I create a folder or go into Google, you'll see this tab here is in AWS. None of these tabs are AWS. You got to remember the tabs on the top row, those are all your computer. That one tab that we're in is the AWS. So that one is the Amazon tab. So I'm in the module now. You can go to Canvas and you can access all your exercises and so on as always, or you can hit plus and go and add in your Gmail. So you're going to log on to your Gmail. That's your student email account. You log on to your student email account. Okay. Oh, by the way, when you go into AWS, I was hoping it would show you here, but I've already bypassed that. So when you log on to the AWS, the email account you use is your name in the ID for your student email, but you don't put in the @student EvCC thing. You just, before the @ button, that's what your username is. The password will be the same. So I know when you go into the Gmail, you type in everything @student blah blah blah, but when you go into the AWS, you don't use the @student. All right, now that I'm in the AWS, I'll just go ahead and log on to Canvas. Oh shoot. All right, I'm going to go into courses, and hopefully I have this set for 185 class. Again, under modules, under Intro to CATIA 3D Experience, you'll see the link to Amazon module. That's how it got in here in the first place. Okay, but you have access to all your Canvas stuff. Not only do you have access to Canvas, but you have access to your student email and all that, and you will go into the email that I sent you. Okay, this, oh, I don't even see it. All right, again, don't click on this one. This is not this over here. This one is AWS. So I click on this one here. Again, from the beginning of the class, I recommended create a folder called 3D Experience. Keep the folder or email that Dassault Systems sent you. So you can click on the Dassault Systems email and hit sign in. I think they've changed that now. The hyperlink is a little different, but you go into the Dassault System email, click on the hyperlink that they gave you. It will be the last email they sent. Now I can access my account, and you must remember that when you filled out that form in the beginning for your Dassault account, whatever you use for your student email, You've got to remember what that is. So hopefully you have those down, and I'll just go ahead and log on. Now I can't remember, it'd be nice, but since I'm going through AWS, I pretty much got to log on every time. Now I'm currently in the 3D, and from the 3D experience. You can go to 3D, hit part design, and on the bottom left corner you'll see the radio waves. You know it's thinking. You notice it says launching the part design. This will take several minutes, so be patient with that. The next thing I will caution you on is it might be behind the screen. So you have to minimize the screen. Again, you don't minimize the screen here on the top because that's the wrong one. You've got to minimize this screen down here within the AWS. So everything above this is not AWS. You got to stay in AWS. That's probably the most common mistake people make. I still make it. I accidentally click over here. So you got to remember that these three tabs are AWS. All these tabs above you see on the very top, that's stuff I have open on my computer. All right, now what also may happen is you've got to minimize this because this comes up and it tells you there's a graphics error. I don't know why we get graphics errors when we're into the AWS, but you can just say okay and it should go through. So again, I think the number one thing people tend to not realize is you got to minimize this screen because it's all running in the background and we're waiting for it to actually pull up a part design model. Again, be patient. It tends to be a little bit slow. That should have took me in. So I'm not sure why that didn't go in actually. Hopefully that bug will get worked out. Those will all be the steps though to get into the CATIA in the AWS.